So hey folks, welcome back to another video, and on today's video we're just finishing up a few touches on the boat, just final touches really. We've got 3 weeks now before I set sail. I say we, I'm solo sailing down to Gibraltar. I noticed in the last video I didn't go into at the end just about buying the boat, costs and things like that, so I wanted to just explain a little bit about that, what we bought this boat for, what the boat's intended to be, and also just to show you some of the final touches before we set off. So let's get into it. So I bought the boat a year ago. We bought the boat from Milford Haven, and then I sailed her up to Fleetwood, where she's based now. Basically the boat was always meant to be a family boat. It's not been adjusted to do, you know, long sails over to the Caribbean or anywhere like that. We bought the boat just as a holiday boat basically. Originally we were looking for a boat in the Mediterranean, and just the extra cost of going out there and flights and things, just to actually do the work I needed to do on the boat was going to be a little bit costly. So we managed to find this boat, which is a Bavaria 36. This is the holiday version. There's various different versions. This is a year 2000, and this is a 3-cabin layout. If you watch some of the other videos, you'll have seen a boat tour early on. It's got a single head and a linear galley opposite where I'm sat just now. And at the time the boat was, I think it was 56,000 that it was advertised for, and I think we paid 45 for it. Now, my thoughts on modifications and things, you always have a figure in mind and you think, okay, it's going to cost about 6 grand. Ended up being probably 4 times that amount in the end. Just there's always something that you want or you need, or you want, especially on this boat, because I wanted it to be a comfortable family boat. So a little bit of creature comforts really that we needed as a family. Yeah, we did more than originally I was going to do on this boat, but I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I'm looking forward to setting sail in 3 weeks. So the route will, day 1 we'll go down to Holyhead, day 2 will be down from Holyhead to Fishguard, try and get down to somewhere like St Ives or just around the corner before I head over to France. And then the plan is, once I get over in France, check in Brest in France and make my way down to La Rochelle, halfway down the northwest French coast. In La Rochelle I have one crew coming on board. He's a very famous YouTuber. He's going to go across the Bay of Biscay to A Coruña, and from there he'll get off and then go back to his home port, and then I'll go down the Spanish and Portuguese coast and round to Gibraltar. The plan then is to bring the family down for the kids' holidays and things, and we'll then go up the Spanish east coast, and the boat will probably winter in Valencia more than likely. The following season I'll then take the boat across to Italy, Montenegro, and down to Preveza in Greece. So that's the plan anyway over the next couple of years. But the boat was always meant to be a family vacation boat, and that's what we wanted to do with it. Like I say, spent a little bit more on it, just a few creature comforts just to get it how we want it. So what were those creature comforts? Well, as you can see here, we recovered the sofas. I explained that in the last video, compared to the old 24-year-old sofa covers that were on, which were in very good nick, don't get me wrong, but I just wanted to freshen the boat up a little bit. I added new mattresses in all 3 bedrooms, and then in the head we swapped the toilet out for an electric flushing toilet. Yeah, on the side where the camera is, where you're looking from just now, on the last video you'll have seen the induction stove. I added a George Foreman grill on there as well, and I'll show you that in a little bit, just so that we can have ham and cheese toasties and cook steaks and bits of chicken and things like that on a griddle, which is great. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do was put fans in all of the bedrooms and also the living room where I'm sat now. So you can probably see just behind me here we've got a fan. The marine fans that are hardwired into your battery, they're about between 150 and 170 UK pounds, and when you times that by 4, possibly 5, it's a lot of money. So good old Amazon, I looked for some fans that would last 24 hours basically on a low setting, that have an internal battery and can be recharged. I can recharge these off the boat, or I can recharge them off the BLUETTI Lithium units that we have on board. The fans are 3-speed, and literally you can angle them at any position you want. That's on a medium, and then you've got high speed as well. You might be able to hear that. And those either clip on, there's like a really strong clip that you can clip them onto these rails, or in the bedrooms, I'll show you in a minute, there's a screw where you can just hook them on and take them off and clip them wherever you want as well. So even if you sat in the cockpit upstairs, you could clip a fan on a nice hot evening in the med just to cool you down a little bit. But on the low setting, they last for about 24 hours, so that's all I need really, so that they'll get through a night in the bedrooms if they're a little bit warm. So yeah, happy with those. Those are about £25 each, so between £160, £170 to £25. Even if they fail after 6 months, throw them away, buy some more. So we'll see how we get on with those, but you know, if you're thinking of putting fans on the boat and you want something that's movable as well, that's a good option. The other thing that I mentioned in the last video was Starlink. That's our Starlink mini dish. You've seen in the last video the pole on the back of the boat, and the thing is wired up to just plug into the BLUETTI device behind me just in the corner here. And then that just sits on the pole mount. I've put a tether on there just in case it did come off the pole mount, but yeah, so that gives us a good signal, and you're allowed to use Starlink Mini if it's registered in the UK. You're allowed to use it up for 2 months in other countries. So because we're just using this boat as a holiday boat, we're not going to be there full time. So yeah, I can come back to UK, just bring this back, plug it into UK, and then it recognises it's back in its country again. But Starlink, I think it's £50 a month for 50 gig. And they've just now sent me an email where they do £10 a month for 10 gig as well. So depending on what you're using Starlink for, if it's just emails and things, maybe £10 a month is pretty good. The unit itself is £399 to purchase as a one-off. With that you get, I think, 15 meters of cable, so you can run it wherever you want on the boat. So looking at the galley just here, you can see the George Foreman grill. And yeah, we can do a nice steak on there, a couple of steaks or a couple of pieces of chicken. It's got a drip tray as well. That will power through the plug there down to the BLUETTI device, and then we've got our T-fal induction top as well. As you can see now, all the beds are made up with the new quilts, pillows and mattresses in all of the bedrooms. Sofas. I don't know if I showed you the floor last time. I got a teak floor to go over, so that when you're having a shower, you know, you don't get all the floor still wet underneath your feet. But yeah, there's the toilet I fitted. So what else have I been doing? Well, one of the key critical things was the engine, and while I've done an oil and filter service on the oil and fuel filters, I had a big problem with the fuel filters. I couldn't get them to bleed whatsoever. So let me just take you into one of the bedrooms and the side panel access to the engine, and then I can show you the problem I had. It might help if you have the same problem on your engine. The engine in this boat is a Volvo Penta 2030 or MD2030, and that's a 29 horsepower engine. Okay, so just in the starboard cabin, I've got the engine cover off just here, and you can see the MD2030. Basically, it's a 3-cylinder diesel. You've got the oil filter just here, fuel filter just here. You've got the gearbox just there going down to the sail drive, and then just there, I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty dark in here, is the fuel filter or the pre-filter. That was the issue that I had, the pre-filter. And basically what it was, the kit that I bought off a UK company about a year ago now, it was supplied with oil filters, fuel filters and all the kit to service the engine. But just where the filter, if you can imagine it was this one, at the top just underneath the green housing, there is a small O-ring that sits in the middle of the fuel filter. And looking at the old O-ring and the new O-ring, I couldn't see any difference with those, but there was a difference, not visible to the naked eye. So when I put the new O-ring on and put the filters back on, it was sucking air and I couldn't get it to bleed. Engine wouldn't start, and I battled with it for about 5 hours. I was really fed up. I thought, well, okay, process of elimination, put everything back to the way it was, and it turned out to be that small O-ring. So if you do get a problem where you can't get it to bleed the air out of the system, then you know, it's possibly that small O-ring at the top, and that was sold by a main dealer as well. So change the oil and filters, fuel filters, the gearbox oil. The sail drive oil was changed when I had it out of the water in August. Flushed all the coolant out. I'll go around the other side. We've got a new, looks like a K&N type filter on the air filter just there. I thought I'd put one of those on instead of one of those foam things. So let's go around the other side. Excuse the mop. So the other bedroom, again, all bedding done, and you see the fan just there. So we've got the fans in each of the bedrooms, just on the side there, just under the main window, which is good. And then you've got another window just under the other side, just here. So on this side, engine hatch access. Here you go, Volvo Penta MD2030. So on this side, one of the key things that goes wrong with these engines, and it causes them to overheat, and what you don't want is an overheating engine. So where you've got the heat transfer, it's like a brass multi-tube fitting that goes through here. Just in here you've got the coolant for the engine, freshwater coolant, and then the salt water comes up through here and it blasts straight through the center, or the pipes in the brass fitting, and then it comes out of this side onto this rubber boot, and then it goes into the exhaust elbow just here. Now the coolant cools around the outside but doesn't mix obviously with that seawater coming through. Seawater cools the exhaust, and where the exhaust gases come out, and then it goes down through the exhaust pipe and spurts out the back of the boat. The exhaust elbow, as you can see here, it looks brand new, which it is. So one of the points of failure on these boats is the steel exhaust elbow with the salt water going through it corrodes. And where this boot, rubber boot, these are new by the way as well, I replaced both of these. These rubber boots, obviously where the water goes through into a tube that's on this one. This is stainless steel by the way. So I've got rid of the steel one, put a stainless steel one on. The only thing you have to make sure that you put the gasket that they supply so that the two metals don't really touch, and there's plenty of gasket in between, so you don't get metal corrosion between the two different metals. So yeah, so I thought I'd change that. That would then give me peace of mind, because that is a failure point. And also I put a new exhaust hose as well down to the silencer, because when I was taking the old one off I twisted and messed it up, so that's been replaced too. So yeah, full service, engine, fuel filters, coolant, air filter, new exhaust elbow, and new rubber boots on the end. The actual centerpiece where the salt water goes through, I'll pop a picture on screen just now and you can see what it looks like. But some of these holes with the calcification, they get blocked up and things, so they were pretty clean, to be honest. They were just a little gunked up on one or two. So yeah, happy that's been done, and the engine's all good now to head off to the Mediterranean. Yeah, all I need to do actually is just check the fan belt at the front of the engine, and also I'll check the impeller as well. So that's the last jobs I've got to do, and then just check all the fluid levels and things before, every time really, before you set off on a journey. Now, one of the things in the last video I said about a ram mount arm that I was going to mount the chart plotter for the inside of the boat on. It came from Ram Mount. They're not cheap, but they are the best sort of arms. They do them for all kinds of vehicles, motorcycles and boats alike as well. So I wanted to show you this and just show you the Axiom 7 from Raymarine. Okay, so you can see down on the chart table here we've got the VHF, we've got the Fusion stereo, A couple of VHF radios. That one will go in the go bag, and then we've got one that does AIS as well that would go with me off the boat in an emergency. We do have a Wi-Fi 4G unit here, but obviously near the coast that would be okay, and things in Europe, but that's why we bought Starlink, really, so that we could go offshore and have internet for weather reports and things. So the Axiom unit, this is the 7-inch. We've got two of these. We've got one on the helm and the other one inside, and this is where I do all of my route planning. So on the Axiom 7, we've got AIS. You can see even a plane there. Let me just click on that. So we've got aircraft. So there's an aircraft going over there. It might be a military plane. Some of them have AIS, and then other AIS targets on. Obviously these rings, I don't know if you can see that on the screen, whether it's flashing just now, but we've got 25 nautical miles, 50 nautical miles, and as you zoom in, you obviously get more rings, 10 nautical miles. So the AIS is brilliant for showing other ships and collision warnings and things. So yeah, this is where I do all my pre-planning, but also on here I can have a split screen just the same as the one on the helm as well. And the split screen would then show me the chart, and it will also show me the wind and things, but I haven't got that switched on outside just now. Also on here I've got my audio, so I can have the audio. Obviously it's not switched on at the moment, and different chart combos and things like that. Apps as well, we've got Predict Wind on here, we've got YouTube, Spotify, and various different ones, YouTube and things. If that's got a Wi-Fi or an internet connection, then you can get updated weather reports. So Predict Wind is a key one for me through the Starlink system, so I can see weather on the journeys and things. So yeah, that's the Axiom. You can also have it on night mode as well. So when you're on the charts at night, obviously it's not as bright, same as your screens and things on your cars. Just switch that back to day and then turn it off. So yeah, this is the ram mount arm, and I can move this and just move the unit and twist the unit around and things. So I could point the unit towards the sofas if I was having a sleep on the sofa or something and I wanted to see the unit. And then that also with the AIS will send an alarm out if there's a boat coming within certain distance that I set it at before we go into a collision scene. So hopefully that won't happen. As you can see in the corner there, I've got the BLUETTI, so we can either run a USBs just off here, straight off the boat batteries. We've got a cigarette lighter socket just here, or I can actually plug mains, and I can plug other things in like two USB-A's just there, and a USB-C, and the cigarette lighter socket just there. So the other thing that I wanted to do was buy some climbing gear so that I could go up the mast and check things. I did that last weekend. I bought some Petzl climbing gear, some ascenders and descenders. Went up the mast, checked the rigging, everything looked fine, no cracks in anything or anything out of place. So I'm really happy that that has been done. Just really excited for 3 weeks time, getting started and heading down to the Mediterranean. Now the only thing I'm not looking forward to is the orcas around Gibraltar and down Portugal. If you're not a sailor and you're watching this channel, I know some of you are bikers that follow us over from our YouTube channel, which is Moto UK, for the motorcycles that we do. I've been doing that channel for a long time. If you follow us, if not, there's a link in the top right hand corner. Click on there and that'll take you to that channel. But yeah, the orcas, so there's a pod of orcas, or a couple of pods of orcas down the Portuguese coast that are getting the tuna as they come out of the Med. These have been attacking sailboat rudders, and I don't know whether it's a game, whether they're playing, but they've been literally biting chunks out of people's rudders and sunk, I think, 4 or 5 boats up to now over the last 3 years. Yeah, there's 4 or 5 attacks a month currently. So the recommendation is to stick near the coast within 20 meters depth, which creates problems of its own because I'm having to navigate around fishing buoys and nets and things going down Portugal. So that can be a bit of a worry with the orcas, but you can't really let that get to you. So I'm just going to go by what the recommendations are, stick to the 20 meters, except when I go across the Bay of Biscay. Thankfully at this moment in time the orcas are just on the Straits of Gibraltar. They're not actually up towards Biscay, so fingers crossed, touch wood, everything goes okay. Other things, just bought a brand new wetsuit, Scuba Pro wetsuit. I am a diving instructor. Yeah, I had lots of diving equipment in the past, but yeah, I don't have any anymore. So I'm going to put a couple of sets of scuba equipment on the boat as well. So if I need to go underneath the boat while heading down there to free, you know, nets or lines or anything around the prop or anything like that, I can do that. So yeah, that's all on board, and also to do a bit of scuba when I'm in the Med as well. So as I mentioned, the sail down will be solo. I am a new sailor, and experience-wise, not a lot, but I'm quite confident with boats. I've had many boats in the past, in the Med as well, so I feel that you know, things are going to be good, and you know, I'm quite happy on my own doing stuff. So I'm giving myself a 3-week period to get down to the Med, and if I get down there quicker than that, great. And I booked a marina in Gibraltar, where the boat's going to stay for a month, and then the family's going to come and join, and so on. We'll have some nice holidays on the boat. If you're new to the channel, if you would hit that subscribe button and give the video a like, that's great. And obviously if you're just tuning in for the first time, there's a bit of a back catalogue of doing jobs and getting the boat up to speed from when I bought it a year ago. I went through the costs with you just now, what it's cost and things. Off the back of that, a lot more cost because I've had to obviously get my RYA day skipper license, and also do the VHF course. Yeah, there's costs behind in the background as well, but yeah, it's all good stuff, and I'm looking forward to the journey. So I'd appreciate if you follow us along. I'm going to be videoing the whole journey down there. I don't know when those videos will be coming out, but I will be doing you know, sort of daily videos as I head down there, so there'll be a nice stream of videos coming throughout the summer, and also when we're on board with the family in the Med. Thanks again, catch you on another video soon. Ciao for now.